me a little bit about the story.
But once we get past the prophecy of that opening song, then the story begins to unfold with the election of the Pope, with people anxiously awaiting for the news on who's this new Pope going to be. And from there, it moves into, I think, a pretty juicy song, which is called The Pope of the People, kind of the title song of the whole musical. And it's the president of Poland singing about this new Polish Pope, the Slavic Pope, and the communists view John Paul II as an enemy because he is so seductive. He knows how to charm the press of the West. John Paul said, I want to go to Poland. The communists were put in a position of saying either no, in which case they're going to look like they were afraid of him, or they could say yes and run the risk that he would stir the people up into some sort of a revolutionary fever pitch attitude. So they decided to err on the side of letting him come. Get the story here. It's June 2nd. It's 1979. Pope comes, lands in an Italian airliner in Warsaw, Poland. The communist government wasn't putting word out of where the Pope's going to be, hoping that no one's going to find out where he is so that they'll keep the crowds down. And maybe there's going to be a few thousand people, maybe you get 10, 20,000 people, whatever. Well, 1 million people gather in the heart of Warsaw. What happens during the Mass is the people are so excited about having one of their own there in Poland saying this Mass that they break out in song in the middle of Mass, singing a Polish folk tune called We Want God. Now imagine this, in atheistic, communistic Poland, people singing We Want God. But it's what the Pope said in that homily that is amazing. His biographer, a guy named George Weigel, said that was the greatest homily Pope John Paul II ever gave. I distilled what he said as best I could into this homily. And he said basically this: Poland belongs to Christ. He said Poland was consecrated to Christ 1,000 years ago. And he went on to say, where is our dignity? Where is our humanity without the reality of Christ? So I think it's a pretty dramatic moment. And at that point, the communists, after that homily and after that Mass, knew that they made a big mistake. And so the next song that follows is What Have I Done? And it's with the president of Poland, who I think is going to be one of the juiciest characters in this whole musical. He starts singing, what have I done? How could I have let this son of Poland come home? What have I done? And then that segues into the Pope's next homily. You see, what's going on is the Pope is moving around Poland. He says Mass in Warsaw, and then he goes to this popular shrine in Poland. It's called Jasna Góra. And there is this icon called the Black Madonna of Czestochowa. I believe I'm pronouncing it right, but it's something like that. It is a beloved icon. It's an icon that the Poles feel protected them during dark time in their history. So the Pope goes there, and I have this beautiful song that he's singing to Mother Mary in front of this icon, while we have the president of Poland singing, what have I done? So we have the president of Poland. He starts saying, what in the world have I done? And then we shift over to the Pope, and he's singing kind of a majestic song to the Blessed Mother. It's a pretty neat song with the back and forth between the president of Poland, who is getting increasingly anxious, and he's saying, we will not fail. From here, the Pope moves over to Auschwitz. It's one of these songs that people will not be leaving the show whistling the tune. Ooh. It's a dark sad, tragic song. I think it's going to be really memorable, and I suspect with the idea I have on the staging that it'll be visually, will have a lot of impact. So it's a real dark moment and one of the darkest moments of the 20th century, Auschwitz. So I think it's going to be really have some impact on folks.